What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're about to dive into AI and healthcare and how those two are about to revolutionize the world and humanity as a whole. Now, we all know about AI and we know the pros and cons. We know that, hey, it could go terribly wrong and the whole all of humanity could get wiped out. We've seen the Matrix, we've seen our robot, we've seen the Terminator, but that's not why we're here. We're here to think more on the positive side, y'all. We're going with positivity today. We're thinking about all of the good things that AI can do. There's plenty of good things that AI can do, and one of those things is AI in healthcare. So those two words right now are big. There's a lot going on around that topic around the world. Right now, we have Trump trying to make America healthy again. Him and RFK Jr., they're taking poisonous ingredients out of the food. Trump just brought back the presidential fitness plan for all the children and teenagers that are still in school across the country. They're doing their thing with the vaccines. I don't know how y'all feel about the vaccines. I get my vaccines, but if you don't want to get your vaccines, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to put in your body. I don't really have a problem with the vaccines, but hey, to each his own. But besides that, we also have big tech. They're going crazy. They're competing against each other. Meta's running around like a madman trying to snatch up all of the top AI engineers that they could find or AI researchers that they could find. They're paying billions of dollars. Like, imagine somebody coming to you with a job offer for $1 billion. That's how serious this stuff is getting, y'all. That's what's going on right now. And then to take it one step higher, this stuff goes to the highest level. There are governments, China and America, they're competing with each other to see who can come up with the best and smartest AI. That's the highest levels that it can get. That's how serious that this AI and just AI is about to get in general. That's why we need to pay attention to what's going on so we can stay up to date and be aware of all the changes that may be coming our way. Now, let's talk about AI in healthcare. So, AI in healthcare right now, there's been $60 billion invested in startups, and over half of that has come in the last 3 years. I'm talking about AI healthcare startups. That means over $30 billion has been invested into AI healthcare startups over the past 3 years. Like, that's a lot of money that's being passed around to invest in this stuff because people want to get in early so they can have the upper hand as this thing moves more and more down the line. Right now, you have Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they're sending rockets into space. They're trying to put people on the moon. That's cool and all, but there's a lot of companies I always wondered why don't they invest since they have trillions of dollars? Why don't they invest in healthcare? And that is exactly what Google is doing, y'all. So they acquired a company called DeepMind. It's an AI company. They acquired that way back in 2014. In 2019, they just merged it with Google Health. So Google Health is using AI to do things. They're trying to cure cancer, cure different chronic diseases, chronic illnesses, come up with different medications and stuff, all using AI. So I applaud Google for that because I'm gonna tell you why I applaud Google for that. Because when COVID came around, they shut the world down and came up with a cure for COVID in about 2 years, give or take. So I'm wondering why can't they shut the world down and come up with a cure for cancer in 2 years, or shut the world down and come up with a cure for diabetes or AIDS in 2 years? You know what I'm saying? If they can do it for COVID, why can't they do it for all these other diseases? Well, it looks like Google is trying. They're putting their money into the healthcare, trying to find these different cures and medications. And I think they should be applauded for that. That's just part of AI in healthcare. 97% of healthcare data right now is unused because it's unstructured. So imagine you're running a hospital or something, and over the course, the lifespan of the hospital, millions of patients have come and gone through that hospital. Now, let's just say 1 million patients have come and gone for heart pain in all of these in this hospital over this time, right? There's not one doctor in the world who can look at every single patient out of the 1 million. So look at 1 million different patients' data. We remember that data, internalize that data, and find the patterns. They may be able to find some patterns and commonalities before they get to the million, but they won't be able to get through the whole million and find every commonality and anomaly that they could find through all of that data. And AI is able to do that. Or a doctor could, but it would take them years and years and years. And AI is able to cut that time in more than in half. It could cut that time so minuscule compared to what it would be that that's going to make the doctors and the hospitals that more efficient because they will have an AI that can scan and understand, keep track of what's going on for 1 million patients, y'all, and they can find patterns in all of that data and see what is causing what, all the way down to the smallest molecule, the smallest atom, which will allow them to come up with cures on a much faster rate, and they will be able to heal a much more group of people. And that's pretty big, if you ask me. That's a lot of people that are going to be saved thanks to AI if they don't try to take over the world and humanity. You know what I'm saying? So, and with that, that's also going to accelerate other research. So the research department of healthcare facilities, they'll be able to move faster because they will have AI, once again, that will notice patterns that the average human might not be able to notice because they'll be able to have more variables or whatever their experiment consists on that allow them to see what is the common denominator in all of the cases that they're looking at. So with that, that's going to allow them to come up with better medication because they'll also be able to take the medication and what ingredients and what is making up the medicine, and they will be able to input that into the computer. Then they may be able to take a patient's genome, take all of his biology metrics, and put that into the computer, and they will be able to see exactly how this medicine will interact with this patient that they wouldn't be able to do before. And that is how deep it goes, all the way down to the smallest atoms, the smallest mitochondria, and all that good stuff, all the cells. They'll be able to see that, all of that, and see, compare the differences on such a large scale that they've never been able to do before. So that is major. Now, there are going to be some challenges that come along with this, though, because one thing people do not want to do is give up their data and let the AI invade their privacy. Now, OpenAI just came out with a statement saying they will give the chats to law enforcement if law enforcement comes with a warrant. What that means is AI is saving all of the chats, and the chats are accessible by a third party. Now, that is going to cause some issues when it comes to the healthcare system because people are very secure and very particular about their privacy, especially when it comes to their medical history. They don't want a bunch of people or companies to have their medical data and they may be able to sell that data. They may be able to use that data however they want to do it. They might have a rogue employee who just looks up that data. People don't really want their medical data just out there available to people who aren't in the medical field, who aren't doctors. So that is going to be a hurdle that they have to get across, but I think they'll be able to get across that just because the possibility of the good that it can achieve kind of outweighs the bad, but we'll see. Also, we're going to have to look out for biases and fairness when it comes to these AIs. These AIs, depending on how they're trained, they're able to they're able to start going off certain biases and being unfair in certain situations. So if the AI doesn't have all of the correct data or have data from a broad group of samples, then it may have biased outputs. And that's also something that we are going to have to be aware of and there may have to be a person overlooking the output that will be able to check for any biases or anything like that. Now, there are tons of other ways that AI is about to enter this healthcare system because we haven't even talked about the robots. Yes, that's right. They're about to have AI robots out here that are doing surgical procedures on people. Now, these surgical procedures are going to be crazy because they're going to be less invasive, right? So that means smaller incisions. The AI or the robot is going to be more able to pinpoint exactly where it needs to go, so it doesn't make any unnecessary cuts. This is going to help with shorter recovery time and fewer complications. Right now, there's already a company out here called Intuitive Surgicals. They have the Da Vinci robot, and that is out here already performing surgery, practicing, doing its thing. There's also, along with the robots and the hardware, there's also going to be chatbots. Like we already have the chatbots. Everything up until now was all administrative or maybe behind the scenes of the medical field in the hospitals. But there's also going to be chatbots that patients can use without even going to the hospital, where they can input their symptoms and the AI will break down what their potential treatments need to be and what the potential causes may be. There are already chatbots that can do that. Is called Babylon Health. Then they have Ada Health, ADA Health. They are symptom checking AI chatbots that can check your system and then relay that information to your doctor so your doctor can make a more informed decision or a more informed diagnosis because he will have more exact information to go off of. They also have this chatbot called Wisa Wobot or Wisa Wobot, something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's for mental health. It's like an AI chatbot that's your psychiatrist. I don't think they have any psychologists yet, but those may come, or maybe the other way around. I'm not sure. But all I know is people are using AI chatbots for their mental health. Now, once again, you may want to use caution if you do this because, once again, all of that information is being stored, and all of that information can and will be turned over to law enforcement if they come with a warrant. So you should be careful about what you share with an AI chatbot, even if it is for your mental health. Now, mental health is a serious topic, and we want to be able to help as many people as we can when it comes to mental health. So if AI chatbot is their best friend or makes them feel good, seems a little bit more understanding, then we as humans aren't doing our part really, because there's no reason why somebody should feel more comfortable talking to an AI chatbot than talking to a real human being because they feel that the AI chatbot is more understanding. We all need to be understanding in this world because we never know what somebody is going through. So it's always good to be kind to people and lift them up, encourage them to keep going and try to bet our best to lift their spirits. Now, there are so many different ways that AI is about to take this world by storm. We'll be here to cover it. I'll talk about it as it goes on. Right now, I wanted to get into AI in healthcare because I think that is a good topic to discuss, and I think there is a lot of potential with AI in healthcare, and a lot of good can be done. So, with all of that being said, y'all don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, check out that link in the description so you can get you some. And I'll see y'all next time.